Hey everyone, welcome back to Shade Review. In today's video, we are reviewing the brand new Ray-Ban RB 4407 sunglasses. But first, I'll thank today's video sponsor, our own website, shadereviewstore.com, the absolute best place to buy designer sunglasses, up to 80% off the original MSRP. Again, our website there is shadereviewstore.com. Check it out. So let's go ahead and pop the sunglasses on face and talk about the dimensions. These have 57mm lenses and a 19mm bridge. And this is the only size of sunglasses that Ray-Ban produced these frames in as a film in this video, so there's not a larger or a smaller lens size. You're going to be stuck here with the 57mm lens variant. As you can see on my face, these frames offer an oversized styling, and that's the way that Ray-Ban actually produced these frames in mind. They wanted them to have that oversized and kind of large, bold styling to them. And now the hinge to hinge distance here is 137mm, so definitely on the large size as far as hinge to hinge distance goes as well. But these frames, of course, are adjustable. They're made out of nylon, so you can actually heat these up and then bend them and give them a custom fit to the face, so you can bring them in or bring them out according to your needs, which is really nice, and of course makes the frames a little bit more flexible for the average person. Now, as far as the exact colorway that I have in today's video, these have, I gotta check my notes because it's really long, these have polished brown, light brown, transparent beige frames. So that's the colorway of the actual frames. And then the lenses here are Ray-Ban's brown gradient lens. So they are darker here at the top and they progressively get lighter, which is relatively practical and makes reading or looking at a phone screen very practical, because you don't necessarily want that to be very shaded, but the sun is typically up really high. That's where you need the most coverage. Also, gradient lenses also add a really cool look to frames as well, and I definitely do really like a good gradient lens color. These having the brown gradient is definitely one of my favorite from Ray-Ban. It's just a really good lens. The brown lens is going to help increase the kind of contrast and colors, make everything kind of pop, and it's going to be a good lens for driving. Now, as far as the lens quality goes, these have very good high quality lenses, but they are a polycarbonate or plastic lens, so not going to have nearly as good scratch resistance as an all glass lens would. They're also not going to have quite as good optical clarity as well, but they're still going to block 100% of UVA and UVB rays. And these frames also are available with a polarized lens as well. The particular pair that I have in today's video have non-polarized lenses. Now, speaking of lenses, these frames have a little painted on Ray-Ban logo here in the top right corner of the lens, and then here in the middle left of the lens we can see a little etched RB logo there for authentication purposes. Now, even though these frames have polycarbonate lenses, which are typically much more lightweight than an all glass lens would be, these frames still come in at 37 grams. So they're still relatively heavy and bulky pair of frames. Typically with a polycarbonate lens, you're gonna get that weight closer to the low 30 grams or maybe even lower. Of course, it all depends on the frame as well. But yeah, these are definitely a heavy, kind of chunky pair, even though they do have those polycarbonate lenses. Now, I can still wear these frames for a long period of time without any discomfort. Once you get to the 40+ gram weight that you'd have with an original Ray-Ban Wayfarer, which has glass lenses, that's when you start to kind of get uncomfortable when you wear them for hours and hours at a time. These frames actually have a really nice balance to them, so you're gonna sit on the face really nicely and not put any pressure points on your nose or behind your ears. Now, as far as the build quality goes, these frames are built relatively nicely. They are actually made in Italy, and they say here in the inner right iris of the frames, they say Ray-Ban made in Italy, and then here in the inner left temple of the frames, we can see the exact Luxottica code information. And I bought this pair brand new directly from Luxottica, and you can see that the 57 in the 5719, which is of course the lens size in the bridge width size, the 57, the 7 in it, is actually already fading away, brand new right out of the box. So that's definitely kind of strange. That definitely should not be like that. That's, you know, just a little imperfection. I really don't care. That doesn't bother me. Definitely should not be there on a brand new pair of frames, but this could just be a one-off. You can't, you know, judge every pair by my particular pair that I have in today's video. Now, the other downside of these frames is they're nylon injected frames, so there's actually a two-piece injection that happens to the temples. So here, where the left and the right meet in that injection around a metal stem, they actually have a little line that's not perfectly polished. And you can actually feel that on both the left and right hand side of the temple. And you can just feel it here. And if you actually use your nail, you can kind of like file it down just a little bit, and it actually makes it a little bit smoother. So they just didn't spend the extra, 2 minutes on this pair of frames to really get it polished. There's no sharp edges, but there's definitely some edges where you feel it. So you're not like gonna cut yourself on it, but you definitely can feel that injection material, where with a properly quality controlled pair of nylon injected frames, you never really have a injected material that you can actually feel. So, just another kind of little demerit as far as the build quality goes. Now these frames do have 5-barrel all metal hinges, and they feel pretty good when opening up and closing them. They don't feel amazing or anything like that, but the frames don't squeak. So that is really nice. A lot of times with their nylon frames, they're a little bit more squeak happy. And as far as styling goes, these frames have a really interesting keyhole style bridge, which is typically found on a pair of, vintage and retro pairs. But this frame is definitely supposed to be more kind of modern and bold. We can see they do also have the kind of traditional metal accents that you'd find in an original Ray-Ban Wayfarer, and they also have the raised Ray-Ban logos here in the outside temples of the frames. So this pair of frames is kind of like a modern yet retro pair of sunglasses, which I definitely really do like. Now, as far as the exact colorway goes, I actually do like this colorway as well, with that kind of beige brown. It does look really interesting. You kind of got like a two-tone style to them, and it definitely looks really interesting, especially when wearing these outdoors, how the outside kind of make the frames glow, if that makes sense. It really makes them stand out. And then you have the solid kind of dark frame colorway in the middle here. Now, something else I did want to mention here is they have a really interesting kind of like molded in ear grip here, and it feels really good behind the ear. It's not rubberized or anything like that, but it definitely helps the frame stick behind the ear just a little bit better and adds a little bit of extra grip without adding any discomfort. That's kind of a really cool idea. It's definitely a very smart idea to be able to do something like this with a nylon material, kind of put that strong nylon to use. I don't think you could really do this with a pair of acetate frames, not easily, with all the circles, and I think you'd also kind of lose some of the integrity of frames if you were to do that with an acetate pair of frames as well. Now, as far as pricing goes, these frames are pretty affordable, coming in at $183, even with the gradient lenses, and that's a pretty decent deal. So I'm going to leave a link in the description down below directly to our website if you're interested in picking up a pair of these frames. And they also come in a ton of other really cool colorways. We also do have this exact colorway on our website as well for a substantial discount off the original MSRP. So if you're interested in buying a pair, definitely make sure to check out our website and Ray-Ban's website as well. But that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think about this pair of sunglasses in the comment section down below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you own a pair? Let me know and we can start a conversation in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give me a big thumbs up down below, and of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button and then to be notified every single time I upload a brand new video just like this one to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.